Good day. So we're talking about where are you on your way to? And to find out where you're on your way to, it's beneficial for us to find out, but what values, what vision, what goals do you have? So that's chapter 2. So when looking at chapter 2, we need to talk about the importance of values. Why? What's at the core of it? The vision, the purpose of it. Developing a long, short-term goals. That's something that is quite familiar to a lot of us. And then types, characteristics, and the action plan. That's the whole content of chapter 2. So when talking about this chapter, there's some words that you have to know what it means. So as goal setting, the types of goals that we can also get. That's important. And then, of course, what benefited you out of this chapter, this content? And what practical something do you take out of this chapter today? So, when talking about this chapter, we need to talk about what values do you have. Values, synonyms for values, is principles, something that's important to you, something that weighs, that's valuable to you, something that you base your choices on. So it's a beneficial way to look at it that when we talk about values, it's something that's important for us. And I like this math equation that if you want satisfaction in your life, it comes down to the contentment that you have and the satisfaction. You get both if your values and behaviors match each other. Now, I like using a triangle like this. So some values are more important than other values. Which ones are higher up in your value hierarchy? Is something like popularity more important than honesty? What does your values look like? So I would suggest that you write down 5 of your values and then try to arrange them in which ones are the highest and then less. Number 5 is the least important. Still a value, but least important. So usually the top 3, that's non-negotiable. That's the ones that really stand out for you. Then we need to talk about vision. Another synonym word for vision is having like a blueprint, having like a dream of your life. What is something that you want to move towards? This is like when you look at the bullseye of something. This is what you want to achieve. So having something like a vision board helps us to make this very clear. What's the thing you want in life? What's the things you want out of life? Now, it's necessary for us to talk about goals, and all of us, we are familiar with long and short-term goals. The necessary thing you need to notice here is that there has to be a sequential steps in your goal setting. So we have short-term goals, short-term, that reaches the long term. Then there's a next short-term that reaches the next long-term goal. So it's not just a bunch of random goals. They have to walk in the same direction. So a short-term goal is almost something that you can immediately achieve. Long-term goals, they stretch more to a year to 3 to achieve. Sometimes even 10 years, it depends. So once upon a time, a student asked me, so what is my short-term goal? Because I want to go into news broadcasting. And I said, well, a short-term goal would to be today, short-term goal, something you have to do, can do today, is go to a broadcasting studio and ask them if you can shadow there, getting some experience. So that is an immediate step you can take. Studying for a test is another one, but try looking past the studying. What's something else? What other short-term goal can you set there? So it's beneficial to have a couple of short-term goals leading up to a long-term goal. I like having something like this, a process in your goal setting. Something like, let's define the long, short-term goals. Let's have a plan, how, when we're going to achieve this. Then create implementing the plan that you have, this action plan. Then assessing the progress. Are you still moving in the direction you were hoping to? And is this effective? Then make the necessary adjustments if needed. Maybe one of the goals went a little sideways. And then achieving the long term goal after 2, 3 years. and then assess the achievement process. Are you happy? Is there new opportunities, life changes? So is there something else that needs to go into your long-term, short-term goals? And then you move around the whole thing again. Now, something vital when we talk about goals is it's necessary for us to follow the goals for growth system. Now, it's very similar to the SMART goal system. SMART goal system talks about being specific. You have to be very specific. Then measurable. How do I know if I've achieved this? If you're out to, as an example, paint a picture and you want to be a painter, you want to be an artist, if your family members buy your art pieces, does it count as you being an artist or doesn't it? How are you going to measure when you become an artist? Then is it attainable? Is it moderately challenging? Not too high, not too low. Is it just enough challenging to push you? Then realistic, and then time bound. Is there a due date? In the goals for growth, there's just two elements added, and that is it self-chosen? Did you choose this, or did someone else choose it for you? And is it positive? So if you say you want to lose weight, that's deficit driven. It's not you want something, it's you want to get rid of something. So something positive instead would be, I want to become healthier, a healthier version of myself. So that would look something like this, the whole process of the goals for growth. It should be self-chosen. Is it moderately challenging? Is it measurable? Can you measure it? And then let's be specific. Then finite, positive, and we do that with the short and long-term goals to make sure that we achieve them. Every time you achieve a short-term goal and long-term, you have dopamine that's released that keeps you going. But if you only have one short-term goal and then a long-term goal in the distant future, you're going to run out of steam very, very quickly. And that is what finding your direction implies.